Welcome to This Explainer. If you've ever stared at a dashboard full of blinking lights and thought, okay, but what does this actually mean? You are in the exact right place. Today, we're taking a standard stock research application and supercharging it into a top-tier, premium trading terminal. We're going to break down how to take raw, structural market data and build truly proprietary conviction indicators that actually decipher the market for you. Let's get into it. So let's kick things off by asking the core question that drives this entire design philosophy. Why do most stock screeners just fail the people using them? The simple answer is, they hand you the pieces of a puzzle, but they absolutely refuse to put them together. A standard app tells you a stock is oversold, or that volume is dropping, but then it leaves you to do the heavy lifting of figuring out if those facts actually matter when combined. We have to fix that.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll be covering beyond basic dashboards, designing a unique interface, building proprietary indicators, the IAM index logic, the volatility springboard strategy, and finally, synthesizing the ultimate signal. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. Beyond basic stock dashboards. Shifting from the what to the why.
Most apps just dump raw data on you. They throw out an isolated metric, like, hey, RSI 14 is at 1.6, it's massively oversold. That's just the what. You are forced to mentally stitch that context together while your coffee gets cold. But a premium terminal, it gives you the why. Instead of slapping a lazy sell sticker on the screen, imagine a dynamic AI confluence narrative. It tells you, look, aggressive selling pushed RSI to historic lows, but because price remains below the volume profile point of control and key support just broke, this breakdown actually has major institutional validation. See the difference? We are doing the cognitive heavy lifting for the trader.
Section 2. Designing a unique interface, contextual aggregation and institutional tracking.
To really stand out in a crowded market, your UI has to scream intelligence. It's not just the math, it's the presentation. A static sell badge, it feels boring and frankly kind of cheap. But upgrade that to an animated verdict reveal where a confidence meter physically fills up when you hit analyze, that tiny bit of gamification instantly adds premium weight and perceived intelligence to your platform's analysis.
If you really want to suggest changes to make your application unique, check out these highly professional UI techniques. We're talking indicator health bar rows so you never have to scroll, heat map overlays that shade candles based on volume-weighted sentiment, even split personality chart modes that show the bull and bear thesis at the exact same time. Add visible tier weighting transparency and indicator conflict detector badges, and you've just empowered serious traders with a personalized sandbox strategy builder. Section 3. Building proprietary indicators, the engine behind the terminal. This is where we build the actual brain of the terminal, using the indicators already on your screen. We're using a system called tier-weighted conviction scoring. Standard configurations treat all parameters equally, but we are heavily favoring institutional footprints like dark pool liquidity over basic retail metrics. Because let's be real, a retail RSI divergence is absolutely meaningless if massive dark pool blocks are actively dumping stock. The institutional footprint has to drive the narrative. If you're a quantitative developer looking for a step-by-step guide to implement this, here is your pipeline to clean structural data into a single actionable strategy. Step 1. Assign tier-based weights, from tier S at the top down to tier C. Step 2. Define strict logic gates for your bullish, bearish, or neutral states. Step 3. Calculate directional multipliers, like +1 for bullish and -1 for bearish. And finally, step 4. Cross-multiply those weights by the multipliers to spit out a strictly bounded conviction score. Moving right along to Section 4, the IAM index logic. Institutional anchored momentum. Let's look at the first of a couple of proprietary approaches. On this matrix, we weigh volume and price action heavily. Price action and volume profile are our tier S indicators, each carrying a base weight of 30. Support and resistance levels sit at tier B with a weight of 20, and RSI is down at tier C, also at 20. We strictly use RSI as a secondary exhaustion filter. We absolutely do not want users buying a stock just because RSI says it's cheap if the volume profile shows institutions are actively selling.
So, what values actually trigger a signal? A buy signal only flashes when institutional order blocks are actively validating upward momentum. Using simple bullet points, here is the logic. Price action needs a bullish close, the volume profile has to cross above the point of control, price must hold above key 20-bar support, and finally, RSI needs to be greater than 35 and expanding upwards so we aren't just buying right into overbought resistance.
On the flip side, a sell signal fires off when price closes lower, volume profile is trapped below the point of control in a low-volume, illiquid area, that 20-bar support is totally breached, and RSI is in a downward cascade. This isn't just a simple dip. This specific combo confirms a structural break where high institutional liquidity is actively liquidating exposure. But honestly, sometimes the market just can't decide. A premium terminal proves its worth by telling you when to sit on your hands. A hold signal triggers when price is just churning sideways, chopping within 1% of the point of control, and RSI is lingering in a compressed 45 to 55 zone. This neutral state protects users from getting chopped to pieces in volatile, low-edge distribution ranges.
And because our maximum weights add up perfectly to 100, your final mathematical output maps cleanly inside a boundary of -100 to +100. It's definitive, it's bounded, and it makes immediate sense to whoever is looking at it.
Section 5. Volatility Springboard Strategy. Catching Explosive Reversals. This targets our second proprietary approach. While the IAM index is all about structural momentum, the Volatility Springboard score hunts for explosive mean reversion. It combines expanding volatility with extreme oversold conditions to pinpoint the exact crescendo of panic selling. This is tailor-made for traders who want to capitalize on highly dynamic, shifting market conditions. Here's the specific logic for a springboard buy signal. Price has to be hugging or trading below the lower Bollinger Band. RSI needs to flash extreme oversold, dropping below 20. But here's the absolute kicker. The ATR, average true range, must be expanding, proving that panic is peaking. The actual trigger hits the second a candle closes back inside the lower Bollinger Band, while RSI ticks back up past 15. By combining these specific triggers, we are isolating the literal moment selling pressure exhausts and a reversal is highly probable.
Section 6. Synthesizing the ultimate signal. The confluence engine matrix.
We've thrown a lot of complex math around, so how do we wrap this into a sleek UI? Enter the confluence engine matrix. It's a clean, graphical gauge that nests all these proprietary scores into one singular, actionable point on the screen. You click the gauge, and it dynamically reveals exactly which mathematical approach, the structural IAM index, or the reversal-focused springboard strategy, is driving the primary conviction. It translates complex data pipelines right into immediate visual trust. So take a look at your own application right now and ask yourself, is your dashboard just reporting the market or is it actually deciphering it? Anybody can pull an RSI number, but translating raw data into weighted institutional conviction, that's what separates a basic app from a premier trading terminal. If you're still just feeding your users a sea of blinking green and red lights, what are you going to build tomorrow to change that?